Dolls and Dorks, this is Kianara and Bryn and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you a very easy way to make a BJD tank top pattern. This is a foolproof method. You don't need any calculating, you don't need any measuring, no very difficult formulas and stuff like that. It's really easy, everybody can do this. Now what you need is a pen, some scissors, a piece of paper and the doll you want to make your pattern for. Today I chose Bryn because he is somewhat smaller compared to my other dolls and it would be easier to show it on him. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your doll and you're going to place him on the paper just like that. And you're going to spread his arms or her arms or whatever. So your doll should be like across on your paper. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your pen and you're going to make an outline of the body on the paper. Now keep in mind that you make the shirt a little bit wider on the hips because the pants need to fit underneath that. So I kind of already have him wearing pants, so I know how wide the shirt needs to be to fit over his pants. And I am just going to make a quick outline of his body like this. And that's all I need Bryn for. So I'm going to put Bryn apart, and if you've done it correctly, which is like I said, foolproof, you can't do anything wrong right here. You should have something like this with all the squiggly lines and stuff like that. So this is a rough outline of your doll. Now I'm going to take another color pen so you can actually see what I am doing. What you're going to do next is you're going to clean up the lines you've just squiggled on your paper. And you're going to do it something like this. You don't go too far out of your lines that you've just made, but just beside them, you're going to make a new line. Just a straight line, like that. And you're going to do that on both sides. Blah. Like that. So I want the shirt to be about this long, because that is where a shirt should end, about halfway down. I can show you how I decided that. So I'm going to put him back in his pattern. And as you can see, this shirt actually ends around here. So that's where I want my pattern to end as well. You can mark that out before you put your doll away, of course. So now that I've done that, I've got this nice, neat little outline. Now I'm going to mark out the middle in the neck. I'm just eyeballing this one, but it's around here. And this is very important because you're going to fold over the pattern in a little bit. So next thing you're actually going to do is cut it out. But there are two ways of cutting it out. You can cut your pattern out with a seam allowance and you can cut it out without a seam allowance. Now this is just a matter of preferences. I myself cut it out without the seam allowance. But some people prefer to have the seam allowance already in their pattern. If you are someone who prefers to have their seam allowance in the pattern, then you should keep in mind that you need an extra 2 centimeters on your pattern. So what you're going to do is you're going to make that extra 2 centimeters. You're going to make a new outline, just 2 centimeters off of your initial lines. And that is where you're going to cut your fabric. Now, like I said, I myself don't do that, but if you are to choose that you don't want that extra seam allowance on your pattern, keep in mind that when you cut your pieces out on the fabric, is that you take that 2 centimeters extra on the sides to cut it out, else your pattern is going to be too small. It is a little bit much as a seam allowance, 2 centimeters, which is about just under an inch, I believe. I'm not sure. I'm not really familiar with inches too much, but you must have that extra 2 centimeters just to make the pattern work. This is something that you have to keep in mind with this pattern, because normally you would measure it and you would use all sorts of difficult calculations, but these 2 centimeters for this pattern is very important. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to rip this piece of paper off and I'm going to toss that aside. And then I'm actually going to fold over the pattern in the middle where I made that line in the neckline. So I'm going to make a nice little fold right there. And then I'm going to cut it out. And I'm going to cut it out on those blue lines that I've just made. Like that. And I'm going to stop on that line and do it like that. I'm going to push that aside. Now make sure that you round out your corners just a little so you don't get points in the shirt. And then you should have something like this. What you're going to do next is you're going to mark out the neckline. You're going to make this little half, or actually a quarter of a circle, like that. And you're going to mark out where you want the armholes to be. And then you should have something looking like this. And you're going to take your scissors again and you're going to cut out the neck hole, the armholes, like that. And you're going to put that aside. And now when you fold it open, you have your pattern. Ta-da! So as you can see, this is a really, really easy way to make a pattern for a tank top. So when you have your pattern like this and you don't have the extra seam allowance, like I said, keep in mind that you need that 2 extra centimeters when you cut it out on the fabric. But this is just a very easy, foolproof way to make a pattern, and it will fit every time. With every doll, no matter how big or how small, this method works. So guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope it will help you in the future with making your own BJD clothes. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. If you liked it, if you like what I'm doing, then please like, subscribe, comment, click on the notification bell. You guys are freaking awesome. I hope you all have a lovely day. My cat wishes you a lovely day as well. And I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye!